Hello, my name is Queffeulou. I'm the co-founder and president of Kalego Solutions, a startup offering a simple, chemical-free, and permanent anti-fog solution for the medical field. Fog is something we'll all deal with. It creeps into our daily lives, on our glasses or bathroom mirrors. But while for us this is just a minor irritation, it can become critical in medical endoscopy. Endoscopy involves inserting small optical devices into our body to observe and treat our organs. This type of non-invasive procedures is becoming more and more common. Look at the person next to you. One of you will undergo an endoscopy during your lifetime. But placing a lens into a warm and humid body, well, it causes condensation, fogging. And as you can imagine, it leads to serious problems for the surgeon who is operating on you. First, the loss of visibility can lead to a misdiagnosis, or worse, a surgical perforation, a surgical error, like an organ perforation. Therefore, the surgeon has to repeatedly remove the endoscope during the procedure to clear the fog, increasing the duration and cost of the surgery and the risk of contaminating the patient, you. Concerning, right? To address this issue, only two main solutions are currently used. Either they preheat the tip of the endoscope just before the insertion, or they apply an anti-fog soap on the lens. However, both methods are single-use and provide only short-term effectiveness, lasting just a few minutes. Today, there is no simple and effective solution in medicine. And that is why we decided to create Kalego Solutions. Our mission is to provide a permanent anti-fog solution directly integrated into the endoscope lens. For that, we use an eco-friendly, versatile, and easy-to-implement technology that mimics like an artificial lightning. It is called plasma technology. We grow a nanometric layer on the lens with a specific design. This creates a thin coating that prevents the formation of droplets responsible for fogging. The treatment is simple, resistant to sterilization and disinfection cycle, and is compatible with all types of endoscopes. To create the surface treatment, we created a unique plasma reactor, and we are currently optimizing it to be more compact and easier to integrate into the manufacturer's production lines. Why? Because the endoscope market is booming. And when we focus only on the endoscope lens treatments, the market is projected to reach 2.8 billion by 2030, 1 billion in North America alone, and 210 million from just one client, Stryker, who has already tested our treatment in vivo. Kalego positions itself as a supplier for the endoscope manufacturers. We provide high-value treatment service, and within 2 years, we aim to provide the integration of our plasma reactor with sub-licensing for operation, along with training and maintenance services. So who's behind Kalego Solutions? We are two founders. Obviously, I am Marine, and there is Jacopo. We never intended to become entrepreneurs, but when we met at a scientific introduction course, it felt like an obvious match. Me, a PhD student in medical field, already recognized from our organizational skills and leadership, always wanted to feel useful to society. And him, a genius, an expert in advanced materials, a true bridge between the academic and the industrial worlds. He's just perfect for convincing people to adopt plasma technology. So during this course, he was developing the anti-fog treatment for small, flat surfaces, but without having a clear application in mind. And as I was working in hospital, I was already well aware of the fogging issues on endoscopic lenses. So we thought, why not bring this innovation to the market? And we started our adventure with one competition, and we have just never stopped. Thanks to the competition and the 3D markets, we were able to challenge our business model, and we made sure to surround ourselves with experts to refine our growth strategy. In 2022, as our solution grew interest, we officially incorporated the company. We were determined to demonstrate the potential of Kalego from the very start. That's why we set out to secure contracts from the very first year, and allowing us to recruit and train a multidisciplinary team that now includes about 10 people. As you can see, we are far from alone on this journey. Today, our team brings together multidisciplinary skills from product design to marketing. To better structure our growth, we have formed an advisory committee to guide us on key areas, from lab-to-matter prototyping, medical certification, or financial strategy, for example. We are supported by the incubator Entrepreneuriat ULaval, V1 Studio, and Cycle Momentum, and also the hospital Sud de Québec. Among our R&D partners are Université Laval and 3 suppliers with whom we are developing our expertise in plasma technology. Our cash flow comes from both sales and public partners, as MyTax or the FAQ, for example. We knew that bringing a new technology to market would be a challenge. We were well aware of the adoption barriers our solution may face, as well as the industrial and/or medical certification, and of course, the R&D cost. That's why, while continuing our collaboration with strategic partnerships, suppliers, and also market professionals, we decided to really support our clients through sampling contracts and also a turnkey solution. We also initially focused on a more accessible market, the researchers. On year 1, we were able to secure prototype sales, sampling, and consulting contracts from these early adopters and primary markets, requiring fewer certification. It was possible thanks to our fully equipped lab, including a clean room, prototyping stations, and 3D printers, for example. But how do we scale up? Our goal is to continue optimizing our unique plasma reactor with specific and strategic application to support our growth. Today, the antifoul treatment is optimized for small, flat surfaces, but we are working to adapt it to curved surfaces. And we are also partnering with stakeholders in the mining and the packaging industries. With this foundation and all the strategic partners that we have, we expect to continue doubling our annual sales over the next 3 years. But in order to accelerate our growth and to upscale our operation, we expect to go with a pre-seed of $1 million, followed by a $3 million.
Presentation time has now expired. We will now begin the question and answer period. Judges, please raise your hand if you have a question, and a microphone will be brought to you.
Hi there. Welcome to Calgary, by the way.
Hi.
That was well done. The Stryker relationship seems really important. And Stryker is a distributor more than they are like a product company. And so I'm really surprised that a distributor wants to help you with product development. So what I'm really asking is, how does that relationship work, and who's making all the money?
Yeah, this is a good question. Actually, all the endoscope chain value is very conservative. So if you want to integrate a solution that will be integrated into the endoscopes, you need to be close to the big stakeholders of the chain value. And Stryker, it's true, does not itself manufacture the endoscope. They outsource a lot, but they are working with all their suppliers to create the endoscope. So for example, for Stryker, they really want either for us, treated samples, treated lens in their production chain. But for example, for Olympus, who is doing everything in-house, they are only interested in our plasma reactor at the end. They don't want any sampling of things or just for testing. So the good thing with Striker is that they were quite quickly very interested in our solutions. So from the start, we were able to really create, to really valorize our product and test our product according to their criteria. And it was the part of the partnership that we still have today. They were the first one to test our product. And I'm talking to others, but I didn't want at the beginning just to, to ask so many endoscope suppliers, because this is a small world.
Over here on the left.
Yes.
So I'm curious about your customer acquisition or go-to-market strategy to get to that $1.4 million you're talking about.
Yeah, so this is the thing with Kalego Solutions. Jacopo and I were not entrepreneurs. We really wanted to prove ourselves as entrepreneurs first. So that's why we decided to go to the market with smaller clients that Olympus, Striker, or Umbu of this world. And that's why we decided to go with this first market, the researchers. The good thing is, when I was talking about the researchers, it's actually two kinds of researchers, one from the university and one for the CCTTs, that are the College Center for Technology Transfer. These CCTTs are like a platform for deep tech, cutting-edge technology. So for us, it's getting easier to get contracts because they already know our technology. So when industry comes to them to resolve the solution, like a problem, well, they can add it to the project, and we can also get a new contract thanks to them. So at the beginning, it was very difficult because nobody knew our technology. So we did a lot of work in order to vulgarize and to diffuse what we can do with our plasma reactor. And as soon as people were coming to really try our reactor, try our treatments, it was getting easier. But this is a challenge with the new technology. Yes?
Curious about your plans for scaling your sales team, including bringing on some type of a CRO or a CSO to get to those goals.
Yeah, when I was doing the projection, actually, I put these three examples not for nothing. It's because we already have a project with them. For the mining, it's, for example, we have an autonomous robot, and we can treat easier the sensors. That way, the data will remain at the same at each moment. And it's the same for industry. They want to, we have 2 potential clients and a CCTT with that. They want to eliminate chemicals in the production line. And this is the main thing that I want to share with you today about the potential behind the plasma technology. It's because we are an alternative to the chemical process. I'm pretty sure you already know about the PFAS, the eternal pollutant, the always chemical, eternity chemicals. This is the thing that we want to provide to the industries. And we are beginning, when I started the company, it was for the anti-fog treatment for the medical field. But I think it would be a waste to just stay with just this niche. I think our technology can help a lot of different markets. We just need to focus on what niche could be the more strategic, and that's why I'm well surrounded by advisors. And right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to develop some recurring revenue. I am working on maybe instead of selling the plasma reactor, I would like to rent it, like do a leasing instead of a selling. And that's one of the, I didn't have the opportunity to finish my pitch, but it was one of the advantage of going with a 1 million pre-seed round.
On the left-hand side, with society becoming more litigious, how are you factoring liability and risk into your financial models, and how are you taking care of any concerns you may have around litigation?
Sorry, I wasn't able to understand the first part of your question.
How are you protecting yourself against legal implications of the technology?
Sure. So in Kalego Solutions, we have two sources of IP. The plasma reactor, so we are currently trying to protect essential piece in our plasma reactor because it's a unique one. And also we have a patent for the anti-fog treatment. It's the recipe, the process for the surface treatment. So basically, the good thing that having a new technology is that we don't have a lot of experts in plasma technology in the world, and our team is very, very well. I don't have the. They know how to use plasma. I think it's the best expertise of our team. We also have like a good relation with our customer. That's why, for example, with Stryker, we kept this relationship and we gain their trust. So if someone comes to the market with the anti-fog treatment by plasma, they will come to us because the good thing with this technology is that the cost for us, the internal cost of doing the plasma, the anti-fog treatment is very low. So we can be competitive.
Over on the other side, I'm wondering how you distribute equity within your team, whether there are multiple owners and on what basis you do that. And then I'm also wondering if there are other key parts that you weren't able to mention of your presentation when you were cut off earlier.
Yeah, thank you. So for now, all the cash flow that you saw comes from our sales and the public partners. The equity is mine, mandatory 51%, and Jacopo Profili. So we're two. We are started to integrate, for example, Theo Frast. He's not chief of R&D to get into the equity. But this is something that we are working on for the 1 million pre-seed round. This round will help us to go with the IP strategy, the secure some salary to manufacturers, the plasma reactors for the leasing and not selling. And after that, we want to go to a seed round to really do the industrialization, so really going with something like production lines and everything. So it's going to be quite an investment, but we really wanted to begin organically, you know what I mean? We wanted to grow by learning every mistake that we could learn. We wanted to do our first contracts with the first customers. We wanted to get quite quickly the first feedback. So I think we are now at a step for Kalego to go finding like new investors. I'm really looking for partners, doing for the deep tech or the sustainable technologies. I think our investors are really long-term partner, and I took time to really work on this, but I think now it's a good momentum.
Hello, great presentation. Just a quick question. I didn't see a whole lot about costs and everything worked into it. I saw the revenue and everything. And you're raising pre-seed of $1 million. How much runway does that give you, and how far can you go with that?
With the 1 million, it's supposed to go with the 5 years because we want to...
Your time has expired. Judges and guests, please help me in thanking Marine.